Welcome, everyone, to the Games Talk Live podcast. Of course, Jay Fonzarelli here. I've got a very special guest today. It's good to see a lot of good-looking people in the chat and a lot of ugly ones, too. You're welcome as well. Fanboys are welcome here. No, it's great to be here. We've got a lot to talk about, and I had to have the sauce man himself here today because, well, there's a lot of sauce out there this week. Anyways, welcome, everyone. Happy Easter. We're going to have a great time. Let's do this. Gaz, how's it going, my friend?
I love that music. That was epic. That got me saucy.
You're saucy today. That's why I had to have you. We have a lot of good stuff to talk about right now. I mean, there's just so much. Of course, if you don't know who this man is, this is Gaz from Game On Daily. GameOnDaily.com, your one-stop shop for all things gaming news related. You've got... Ooh, really? You added that? No.
Hardware porn.
Okay, hardware porn. Okay. Yeah, and also of Game On Daily right here on YouTube with him and Asa, of course. They do their thing. Every Saturday they go live. And, of course, they have sauce videos as well that they like to cultivate there. And apparently... Asa, and we're going to talk a little bit about this today. Asa got a little saucy this weekend.
Asa got mad saucy this weekend.
And I liked
Asa's
it.
a dark horse.
And I liked it. One thing I have to say, though, real quick, before the show started, I saw it, Hot Dog, Kung Fu Hot Dog, sent me a member chat stating that he saw the Super Mario movie this weekend, and it was awesome, he said. It was fire, he said. That's what I'm hearing.
Bro, there's such a massive disconnect between what movie critics have said about the game and gaming enthusiasts. There's like a massive divide. Anyone who's watched this is like, what the hell are you talking about? This is exactly what we wanted. I played it safe, but it was great. It goes to show the disconnect between movie critics generally. Like some of the new Star Wars movies, they were absolutely dog. And then the first one, then critics said it was a masterpiece. That kind of stuff. There's always. So yeah, I haven't seen it.
No, I got to take the kids for sure. Got to take the kids. It's going to be a good show today, guys. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. And again, every week, Brigadier's Blue coming in hot with a $5 super chat saying, GTL time, baby. Can't stay this time. Making Easter dinner. You make that dinner and you make it great for your family, sir. He says, I'll catch the VOD later. As always, looking forward to the mayhem that is Gaz. That's right. The mayhem that is Gaz. Got to play the circus music for you, Gaz. Yeah, no, we're going to have a good time. Gaz, what's been going on with you lately? What have you been playing at? What's the latest with you?
So I completed Dead Space today, which was amazing, the remake.
I'm playing that right now as well. Right now. I just got off of it like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
It's fantastic. Fantastic remake.
I was like, because it was a while since I played the first game. The game kept going at the end. I was like, there's more. I know generally where the game ends. And I'm like, I'm still going. And like, well, these things in the original game? Bro, that game is... I'm actually thinking of doing a video on this whole thing about remakes. And we were talking about, The Last of Us, the remaster of the remake and blah blah blah, and we're quite like remakes, sequels, blah blah blah. But that game, Dead Space remake, caused me to change my mind because
really
it made me realize, yeah, man, definitely not on The Last of Us because I played that again and I was just like, I'm not really interested because the game still holds up so well. But these games like Dead Space, like going back to the Ishimura with the next gen visuals and all this amazing tech, and it's like now. I get it. Like developers or the people who originally created this game, their vision can be properly realized with the technology, the power that these consoles and PCs and new tech basically affords them, and it's bringing it to modern light. And obviously, don't take the piss. Yeah. Like Horizon Zero Dawn's going to get a remake. Who the hell asked for that? Like the game already looks stellar. What are you going to do with that one if that's true?
I don't mind if a game is really old and it gets remade, not remastered, but remade. I'm kind of good with that. I mean, but at the same time, if you play Dead Space, even now, the original, it holds up very, very well. It's not bad at all. Now, I've heard that the total opposite with like Resident Evil 4. Now, I played the original and loved it back in the day, but I heard the new one just shits all over the old one.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't played it
found that. Well, yeah, I'm playing that now. After completing Dead Space, I played a little bit of Resident Evil, and then I got ready for the stream today. The reason why I'm late, sorry chat, was because I was playing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Finally playing this game, and I love it. I'm converted Soulsborne guy. I'm the Soulsborne man now because I played Wolong just like you. Love that game.
Loved it.
Love that game. And this one, it just already grabbed me by the testes, bro. Like that fast-paced game traversal. But you prefer Wolong?
I prefer Wolong for several reasons, but mainly it's the added mechanic of the fortitude system. I really like that. I think that does well in a Souls-like game. You know, and it's actually, it helps out a lot too, especially if you like to explore a bit and find those things like I do in a game. It gets you looking for stuff like that. So
it's a really good way to explore the exploration mechanics in games.
Yeah. Anyways, really let's go ahead and get into the show today. And you know, first off, we got to do something here, my friend. And of course,
oh no.
Yes, it's back.
You in the face.
It's back. 5 questions. There he is. All right, guys. Are you ready to play 5 questions?
Let's go.
All right. All right, guys. Of course, this is going to be a good one.
How nerve-wracking it is.
This is going to be a good one. It is nerve-wracking. And I got a new buzzer today because the old one was just a pain in the ass. It kept stopping, and it's been doing that for weeks, folks. So
I've seen you
that buzzer.
increasingly get annoyed every time the buzzer doesn't work. Your face gets redder and redder.
So
Ham Solo was just sitting there, and you were just shouting at it like, what the f***?
I think you're trying to avoid these questions, sir. You're just going on and on. So let's get down to it.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
All right, sir. These are. I got some tough ones today, folks. There's a few tough ones here. There's some easy ones, but there's some tough ones. I don't know. We'll see. Number 1. In Jedi Fallen Order, the protagonist Cal has a droid sidekick. What is that droid's name?
BD.
Correct. You got it. All right. Number 2. Can you name the very first handheld video game console ever? Ever, guess. The very first handheld video game console ever.
I have a feeling it's not the Game Boy, but that's the only handheld I know, so I'm just going to say Game Boy. You want
to hear that again? See, it works every time. Every time.
When I'm here.
Every time. Now, actually, it was the Microvision by Milton Bradley in 1979, if you can believe that. And it costed $50. $50, and the games themselves were $20 a piece. The cartridges were $20. Milton Bradley. I never heard of that before, but that was the very first handheld video game console. And then you know what was next? The Game Boy. The Game Boy. Fast forward to the 80s to the Game Boy. Yep. All right, number 3. Can you name the very first Sony handheld video game console?
Vita.
Are you sure?
No. Oh, give me a chance. Give me a chance. Bro, I've forgotten the name of the first one. I bought it. No.
Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat because they've already got it.
PlayStation. What the fuck does the P stand for? PlayStation Portable. No. Yeah, Portable.
Correct. No. PlayStation Portable or the PSP. You got it. You got it.
PlayStation Plus. PlayStation. Okay, fine. That was an easy question. Thank you.
Okay.
I almost fucked it up with Vita.
Number 4. You've always done well with this trivia. Always. Yeah, Number 4. True or false? Halo Combat Evolved launched the same day as the original Xbox back in North America on November 15th, 2001.
True.
Correct. I wanted to try to trick you there. I wanted to try to trick you. But you knew it. You bought it that day. Yeah, I did too. All right, number 5. What did you enjoy? Here, let me turn that off now because this one is subjective. What did you enjoy more? Halo Infinite or Halo 5? And why?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Yes,
you know why that's such a good question? Because Halo 5 held me for longer. The campaign, the overall package was better, but Halo 5, I played for longer because Warzone was something that really grabbed me. So I played Halo 5 multiplayer, so I'd have to go with Halo 5.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Warzone. Even though I thought it was...
It's because of Warzone.
I preferred Halo Infinite myself.
I can understand
I think Halo 5, the story was just utter garbage.
The story was an abortion for Halo, but
Infinite wasn't an amazing story either, but I thought the gameplay was better.
The potential was there, you know me.
But there's something about the
relationship.
There's something about the graphics to Halo 5 that kind of look better to me, which is odd, right?
Halo 5 had better graphics, but it had more restrictive game world design. It was disgusting game world design.
But I'll give it to you.
Halo Infinite's world was amazing. But yeah,
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5, brother. 4 out of 5. You always do well.
I'll take it.
You always do well.
You're nice to me.
5 questions.
You're nice to me. You're nice to me.
No, dude, I thought you weren't going to get some of those. How did I know you were going to know the droid sidekick and all that? I love that game. What I've been doing lately, I don't know if you've noticed, people, but when I do the 5 questions now, I look at my topics and I kind of, put these questions around the topics.
I just clocked what you meant. Yeah, so BD because of Star Wars.
The Star Wars.
Handheld because of PlayStation. Oh, well done. That's actually a good idea.
We're going to talk about Joseph Staten later, or Staten, however you say it. I'm not sure. Is it Staten or Staten?
Oh. I think it's Staten, and I just realized we didn't talk about it yesterday on Go Live. But that's quite
we're going to get into that because I think that's a bit saucy as well, and we're going to talk about that. Gaz, I know you've heard the rumor because you talked about it on your show. Tom Henderson put it out there that Sony is producing a new handheld. Maybe it's a big rumor, but it might happen. And you've heard about this. Tell the people what is this going to be like? This handheld, what is it going to do?
Just sorry, a little gassy there. It's going to be an online only cloud streaming, like remote play device that nobody asked for.
I don't like it.
I was like, I got it wrong.
No,
I'm like,
no.
What?
You got it right. I just hit the buzzer because I look. If this is true, if it's just a remote gameplay, where you have to have the PS5 as well to use this thing. Wouldn't you say this is dead in the water?
That's absolutely, like, no one asked for this. It's especially painful for PlayStation fans who have been going on for years about the untapped potential of the Vita, even PSP, but the Vita as well, like how bad it was, like the Sony left it to die. And then it releases the antithesis of what PlayStation gamers like, always online, remote play. You need the PlayStation. It's like the PSVR 2 all over again. You're going to force us to buy all these devices to play, have a suboptimal experience. PlayStation guys, I think almost unanimously have also called out, and I'm talking about the fanboys. Even they have a distaste for it.
I tried to, when I first saw it at first glance, I was reading about it and I was like, maybe it's more than that. So I said, maybe if this is supported well, it might do well. I put a tweet out there, trying to be kind of, positive about it. Maybe it'll be okay, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be okay.
Nah. I think it's going to be an L if it's true.
Now something happened on Go Live yesterday with Asa concerning this. Now, guys, if you did not watch it, this is funny. I want you to tell the story. So Asa was going on about Tom Henderson leaking this rumor, right? Yeah. Go ahead and finish the story here.
Well,
I thought it was hilarious.
Asa last week, when we were talking, or the week before that, where you talked, Tom Henderson from Insider Gaming, he he's been a reliable source for a lot of things. And a couple of weeks ago, when he leaked the fact that there are PlayStation Slim in the works and a new SKU in the works that's going to come out at the end of this year as well. It's going to be digital only. And at the time, Acer was really combative. It's like, this bullshit shit website, whatever. To this yesterday, he did the same thing. So I was introducing this news piece about the PSP Portal port, and then Acer, I don't know what he's got against him, but well, not him. Acer said, shit website, he has no ethics. And I questioned Acer there. I'm like, what do you mean no ethics? Because he's like, oh, he basically uses people who break NDAs for his own self-gain. And I don't feel that strongly about that. I get it, like this industry, and almost in journalism, it always revolves around that. Is it causing any harm? I don't think it causes any harm for a platform holder like Sony. I don't think that going out in the wild does any harm. If anything, it could actually help them, like, maybe position things to, gauge interest and reactions from the core fan base, which usually spills out to the masses. But Acer gonned him, said he has no ethics, nothing. And guess who's in the chat? Tom Henderson. He's there watching the whole time.
He was watching.
And he goes, oh, this is an interesting conversation. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't let Acer down on that. You know what we're like, man? Acer throws me under the bus. I throw myself under the bus. We have it all the time. Like gaming discourse, if you're honest, if you're raw, if you're truthful, you have nothing to hide. Look, we're all human. We all well, I'm not saying Acer erred there. He still maintains his position, but ultimately, if you're sincere in what you say, just say it, man. And that's it, man. Life's too short.
Yeah. And it's funny because in this kind of I guess this hobby of ours, this podcasting hobby that we do, when we're talking about certain people or whatever in the industry or journalists or whatever, you never know who's watching. Because it can blow your mind sometimes. I've gotten DMs from people that have watched my show even, and I'm like, what, you watch my show? Like what? So people watch and they listen. And so I just thought that was hilarious though when that happened. And he just spoke up, and then Acer he didn't backpedal completely, but he kind of was like, well, maybe we can talk about that, Tom.
I know Tom Henderson, if he wants to come on the show, we can talk about it. It'll be very spicy.
Yeah, that was funny. I've got a super chat here. Thank you very much, Wolf of Darkness. I want you to read this super chat, sir. It's on the screen.
Oh, look at this. For Habibi, Wolf of Darkness. Salaam alaikum. Gaz is here. Gaming while fasting is amazing, brother. Love you. Love you too, man. And he goes, hey, Fonz, when will you open your own radio station? Wrong, Fonz. This is a radio station, Wolf. Walaikum assalam. I hope your fasting is going good. I have been trying to be good, but I'm trying to cut down the swearing, which doesn't help because I'm terrible with it. But it's fun. Look, I've lost a lot of weight. I'm going to do the keto diet that Fonz Really Gaming does. All meat, no carbs. I'll try it after this month. And yeah, we'll get into it. Shout out to you, brother. And thank you so much for that super chat. Fonz, we're going to circumcise him and he'll join the brotherhood.
What did I just hear? No, look. Okay, Gaz is here, people. Gaz is here, all right? Shout out to Boss Mod Lethal Papa in the chat, one of my moderators. Shout out to all my moderators. Thank you very much. As Boss Mod Lethal Papa said, he said, go ahead and hit that like button, folks. If you like the show, hit the like button. If you don't, I understand. But so far, it seems like most of you like it here. So I appreciate you. And I know a lot of you are here for the Gas Man himself, for the Sauce Man here, for the Septic Sauce. And we're going to get into that. But concerning this handheld device, though, again, I mean, not much can be really said on this topic because I think that right now, I think this, if Sony was to put a lot of R&D into a device like this, I think it's going to be something they're wasting money on, man. I honestly think that they need to concentrate more on things like cloud tech than they do even VR. I think these niche things that they're trying to go after, and I'm not saying handheld is a niche market because it's not. I mean, obviously, look at the Switch, look at the PC portable. What is that? The Steam Deck. There's a lot of there's a new Asus or Asus device coming out. So these things can be really, really successful, but if it's just a remote play device off of your console, that's not good enough. It's pointless.
Depends on how. Tom Henderson was, when he was in our chat, he was saying that the device was meant more to extend the gaming experience. Don't see as a standalone.
You know what it sounds like to me? A Wii U controller. Remember the Wii U screen controller? That's what it's like. It's like Sony's version of that.
That's a good point.
Who wants that?
That's such a good point. No one wants that. I don't know why. Like some of this stuff, like do they do R&D? They just see the mobile gaming space. They see Steam Deck going crazy. They see Nintendo doing crazy. And when they do a non-native device like that, it's not going to do well. Like if, and this is a big if, Tom Henderson might be completely wrong here. If this is true, then Sony now has to contend with two devices that may be potential big failures, in my opinion. PlayStation VR 2, I'm not saying it's a failure now, but it's looking sketchy at the start. Its performance, we're hearing from Bloomberg. I'm not seeing anything, really, any push from Sony itself. And I feel like this is going to be a continuation of PSVR 1 with potentially even less sales. But it's an incredible device, but where are the games? So we'll have this and the mobile thing flopping, then that's not good news for Sony. Because Sony gets lackadaisical, is doing really well now. But Microsoft is going to, like, it is putting pressure. Irrespective of its tiny piece of that little pie chart, it's going to put more pressure than it ever has.
And if you, like I said, you know, if some people out there are thinking that cloud technology and everything, it's not for them right now. In the future, maybe. Yeah. Cloud is I mean, that is the future that a lot of these companies are looking towards. And I think that's why a lot of these regulatory bodies and stuff are really looking at that market and thinking, you know, well, is Microsoft going to have some sort of upper hand there? If you know, since they're the ones that are really putting a lot of money into it. Sony, if they really need to play catch up in that area, because they're not really doing anything in that area at all. And that's what's really going to leave them behind in years to come, for sure. VR, let me say it like this. VR to me is kind of like what 3D was for TVs and stuff, for movies and TV. Like, to me, it's kind of like one of those gimmicky type of things that, yeah, it's cool, but it's just, there's no place for it right now. If they could get to the point where VR is kind of one-to-one with the games, that looks amazing, and you don't have to wear something heavy with wires and stuff like that, that'll be a better situation. But right now, the way it sits, I used the Quest 2 last week. I talked about using it, and even that thing, it as light as it is, it's still very hot and just, it doesn't feel right. After a few minutes, you're like, take it off.
It does, like, the Quest 2 is really good, but once you know what, David Jaffe actually summed it up really well. I was actually going against David Jaffe there, and I said, look, well, I still believe in the vision of VR, and he's quite skeptical. He's like, even the Ready Player One vision, it's all it is immersion. And once you've gone past that, and it's got a short half-life in terms of the enjoyment and the allure of it, it's like, it's amazing at first, but then everyone ends up going back to gaming, like the same thing. And it, like, on PC it's niche, on PlayStation it's going to be even more niche. So I'm hoping the technology does do well. I actually respect PlayStation. I've said this before. I respect them for taking risks like that. They didn't play it safe because that's a niche device, and then they delivered a really good piece of hardware.
That's a fine way of looking at it, but at the same time, you also need to put money over here for this technology that's moving forward, where the industry seems to be going, and they don't seem to be doing that. And to do all this R&D for a handheld remote device, it's, I don't know, man.
It might come to bite them in the arse.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on past that. Let's talk about Joseph Staten or Joseph Staten. I'm not sure. I'll say Staten because I've been saying Staten for years. Of course, he was the one of the original members over at Bungie that brought us Halo to Xbox. He was also with 343, and he was credited for really saving Halo Infinite, or at least putting it out in decent shape, right? He's the 12th hour guy that came in and he'd put it out there for people. He got them all, let's just get this done and get it out kind of guy, and it was good. The campaign itself, I can't really say anything bad about it. I liked it. We all know about the multiplayer stuff. It wasn't ready. And we all said delay it, but whatever. It is what it is. But anyways, This guy, he's a talent and he's leaving Microsoft. My first question to you is, do you think that this is a big deal in general for Microsoft?
No, not at all. I thought it was a big deal the moment he left 343. Then, to me, the damage was done. I didn't even know what he was doing at Microsoft. I didn't even care at that point. Like, what was he going to do at Microsoft? Like, this is the guy's legacy is Halo. He's known for Halo, and you know what? Unless there was a new IP, he's going to head and work with a studio internally to develop. I didn't hear any of it. So him going, I was kind of, obviously the PlayStation fanboys are going to go, like, ooh, the talent's leaving and whatever.
Yeah, because they will ask you, does Xbox have a problem retaining talent?
Yes, it does. Look at.
But would you say this is a case of that, Joseph Staten?
Well, this is definitely a case of that, but I don't understand Joseph Staten's utility at Microsoft. Like, what was he doing?
He's already left 343. Yeah,
he's already left 343. We had no idea what he was working on. There was no promise of anything. He had some weird, admin, like, whatever, overseeing role. Like, no one give a damn. The big news was when he left 343. That's when I made that video. It said, "Rest in peace, Halo," because he was held as the savior. The moment he came on board, everyone celebrated, including myself. And apparently, according to Bloomberg, Halo Infinite would have been a complete show if it wasn't for this guy. He managed to basically salvage a product that wasn't even anywhere near complete in 2019. They were just scrambling, and he guided that. So obviously, he sounds like he has some talent there and some leadership qualities that was missing in everywhere else. But he's gone. Like, to me, it wasn't a big deal. Like, the moment he left 343, it was done. Khalas, finished. Now,
same.
Whatever. If he goes to Bungie, though, which apparently he has a really bad relationship with them and left on sour terms, so it's unlikely anyway. But just for the source, it'd be quite unique or quite hilarious if he had joined Bungie. But yeah, who cares? Do you care?
No. I feel exactly the same way you do. After he left 343, I was like, what was the point of that? I thought he was the guy to lead 343 to glory, right? Then he's gone. Yeah. So it was like when he went back to that marketing team or something, I think he went to like marketing or something for Microsoft. And I was just like, okay, so what's the big deal that he left that? Like, do you really care? I mean, to me, I don't give a crap. But the other thing I would ask, though, because this is kind of where I see it, would you say that this kind of stuff happens with Sony, but it's just not as well publicized? Developers leaving, talent leaving. Because I've seen, like, if you really hunt and search, I can find developers that are leaving Sony, but the articles on this are few and far between. But with Microsoft, it always seems like it's big news when a talented developer leaves.
It's true, but in Microsoft's case, you've got a very, very senior guy leaving. You had multiple senior. You had Drew Murray leave. He was a senior guy at this new studio that you set up. This quadruple A studio, once we used to call it, Quad A studio. He left. He was in the sizzle reel for this Perfect Dark documentary thing. Yep. Senior people left. Almost every senior person left in that team. The Quad A studio, everyone left. Then Joseph Staten leaves. And then you've got the gentleman from Tango Gameworks, whose name I forget. He also leaves. Apparently he's retiring. Okay, fine, maybe. But I'm not so sure if he has retired. So, but normally that kind of like import for export of people happens all the time. But it just seems to happen in quick succession with Microsoft's first-party studios who have very little to show at this point. Tango Gameworks did show well. Hi-Fi Rush was great, but then he left immediately. That you got in the initiative. Everyone senior left. The guy joins Insomniac straight away. Bad look. Then you've got the savior of Halo Infinite. Didn't manage to save it. Put some fires out and then left. So all of that in this, it's not,
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm agreeing with Albert G in the chat for once. He says, ponies, Halo is trash. Also ponies. Microsoft is losing talent. I would add to that. Also ponies. Joseph, come to Bungie. I've seen those tweets.
That'd be funny, man.
So
that would be funny.
But I'm just saying, he's right about that, though, because that's the kind of fanboy rhetoric that we hear from both sides. Guys, you Xbox guys sometimes do it too. I mean, I see it on both sides, but it makes me laugh. And Nathan Campbell, he's saying ponies. He's talking about Sony fanboys. That's the nickname they've been given for many years now. You got Xbots and you got ponies. It's weird, but whatever.
I love it.
I hate the names. I hate the names ponies and Xbots.
I think ponies is cool. Stupid. It's funny. What the hell's a pony?
I hate it. Biff Rinaldi, he's celebrating 4 months on the channel. Thank you very much, Biff. He says, like for an audio log versus auto-tune battle rap. Wow. Wow. Because, of course, you do the auto-tune stuff, and I have the gas is here today. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about sauce. All right.
Sauce.
All right. But, yeah, so it's not a big deal, guys. Joseph Staten's leaving. He's doing something else. He's gone on to bigger pastures. I don't know, greener pastures. Who knows where he's going? But the guy is going. He was already gone from 343. So it's not like they were losing their, their savior. He was already gone. They lost him months ago. All right.
Yep.
It's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and talk about something fun here. Let's go ahead and get a little saucy. All right.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about Jim Ryan's latest ridiculous response to the CMAs. So the CMA's decision on Xbox not being anti-competitive after they've delved deep and looked into Microsoft and what they were trying to do with the ABK deal. This is what Jim Ryan had to say. He said, if PlayStation received a degraded version of Call of Duty, it would seriously damage our reputation. Our gamers would desert our platform in droves, and network effects would exacerbate the problem. Our business would never recover. You hear that?
I thought that was you for a second. I was like, what was that?
That's Jim's actual tears right there.
Bro, I thought you were doing that. I'm like, that was.
I don't care who you are. You could be, whatever the hell gaming channel out there, and you could say these things and try use big words and try to sound smart and everything. But at the end of the day, if you aren't sitting there looking at Jim Ryan as somebody that is honestly scared to lose COD, you're just not looking at it with your eyes open. Or you're just an idiot, period. Because the guy is just grasping at anything right now. Now, he's got some kind of, I will give him this. I'll say that he's not wrong in the fact that, and I've said this for a long time, party-led, if you're the console leader and they start building games on your console first, they tend to spend more time with that first console, that lead console. So when other platforms get that same game on the same day, they might have issues. They might have problems. Are they purposely bugged? No. Are they purposely degraded?
Naturally.
No. It's a nasty byproduct of just being lead platform. Or not being lead platform, excuse me. So if you think about it, Sony has been so hypocritical all this time. They've been talking about all this, we don't want degraded this or that, but it's been good for Xbox and it's been good for PlayStation for years. It's good for them, not good for us, because they've been degrading games for many years. COD even, skins, map packs, all kinds of stuff, double XP, triple XP, quadruple XP, whatever it is. They've been doing things with their marketing deals that have gimped the other versions of COD for years. Yet it's okay for everybody else to get gimped, everybody else to be, not that platform lead and not have that market deal. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, we can't have that. we're going to cry about this. We're going to go to the CMAs and say, you better stop them from doing what we've been doing all this time. That's basically what they're saying. It's ridiculous. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Bro, like I keep telling people that this whole ethics of a company, everyone's like, oh, it's business, you don't have to talk about it. But this whole bitch-made look doesn't do any favors. And me and Asa were going back and forth on this whole point. And Asa's like, oh, you know what? He was kind of siding with PlayStation because he didn't like the way Microsoft was marketing this and getting the public out there and doing all these, what he thought was like this public-facing, just like theatrics of it all, where Sony were just hiding behind regulators and saying dumb stuff, or the regulators were just adopting PlayStation stupid things like, they will downgrade games or whatnot, and then Sony, Jim Ryan being so, bro, they've such a bitch-made attitude. They pounced on the Redfall exclusivity drama. That's how desperate they are. That they quoted IGN stuff that said, hey, look, they say, like Call of Duty, Redfall is a first-person shooter game that features both single and co-op multiplayer modes. Anyone who knows those games, they're not similar at all. That's what COD is, a 4-player co-op game. Really, primarily it's a multiplayer game, and that's where 90% of people play, and it's got a very tight narrative-driven single-player mode, and they're trying to make similitudes with this, obviously relying on the regulators' ignorance there. But like generally, it's like you're so desperate that they bought ZeniMax, and you're crying about Redfall being exclusive, a new IP. This is where PlayStation fanboys look stupid bringing this up, to the point where only half of them did. They're like, oh no, you're taking games away from us. I'm like, you never had Redfall. It's a new IP.
And you never had Starfield.
But they were developing it for PlayStation. So who gives a shit?
Who cares?
Man, it's such a dumb thing. And then Sony now, as the CMA does a U-turn on its very stupid ideology anyway, but it did a U-turn. What does Sony say? It's slammed its surprising, unprecedented, and irrational like decision making. This is they're desperate now.
Again,
they're desperate now.
But that's the one thing I really want to drive home: the fact that he's so scared of the same thing happening that's been happening to Xbox happening to Sony. That's what he's scared about, because platform lead, the performance for platform lead for many of the multiplats out there has been better. If you look at PlayStation 5. And a lot of the multiplats, if you look at Digital Foundry, which he even quoted, because he sees that a lot of people say, oh, it performs better on PlayStation, even though it gets patched a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month later on Xbox or on the PC, and it does even better sometimes in some cases than the PlayStation 5s. It doesn't matter, because by that point, it's already hurt the game. More people are going to buy the version that's not gimped, and he knows this, and he's scared about that. But guess what? It's business, Jim, and that's what happens. If you're not
business that you've been entering into for years, you're still doing it now. It's like that's the irony of it all. You money hat everything. You money hat COD. Like you literally gave extra XP to PlayStation guys, more classes. This game, Modern Warfare 2. You had an advantage over Xbox players. And now you talk about degrading the same game you did. The rampant hypocrisy of it.
And you have to think about this. The whole parity thing, too. This is including parity. These multiplats that I'm speaking of that don't perform as well on the first day that it drops on Xbox, there's a parity clause in play already. So despite parity, performance issues happen. You know why? And they accept that, even with parity clauses, because things like this happen. And if you spend more time with the lead platform making this game, you're just going to have a better product day one most of the time. That's what's been happening. Look at Resident Evil 4. It dropped on both consoles, all platforms, and it ran like shit with the Xbox controller. Shit. Even on the PC. That's because they primarily built it around the DualSense controller with the PlayStation 5. Once they fixed that, recently they just fixed it, the dead zones are apparently fixed. Guess what? You got a better looking game on Xbox that plays just as well. But you already lost it because when it first dropped, hey, it was better on PlayStation. It ran better on PlayStation. So most people were buying it on PlayStation for that reason alone. If you had both consoles, if you just had Xbox, you were buying it on Xbox. But I'm just saying that does play into a lot of people's minds. It plays into my mind as a dual console owner. I have both. If a version is better on one, I'm buying the better version, Gaz. Despite a console preference, I'm buying the better version of the game.
That's fair enough. I bought Resident Evil 4 on Xbox day one because I just prefer the environment there. And to be honest, I didn't feel the dead zone issue that much when I was playing the demo. If it's significantly downgraded, then I'll make the decision. It has to be significant to pull me away from the Xbox, because I'm just prefer the whole environment, the dash, the quick resume is such an integral part of the way I play games now. Like, not having quick resume on PlayStation, it feels like I'm going to.
Do you know what I hate about quick resume sometimes? When it doesn't work sometimes. And sometimes it doesn't. Like, sometimes it'll kick you out of a game and it pisses you off. More like 9 times out of 10 when that happens, it's usually an update that does it. Yeah. So if it's like a newer game and it's getting updates, like Dead Space, it kicked me out once because it got an update or something. But recently it's been working like a champ with Dead Space. So,
bro, when I go back to a game I haven't played for a good number of weeks and it starts off where I left off, I'm still floored by it. I'm like, holy damn, I went straight into that game. And I bounce a lot. Like, even when I played Dead Space, I jumped into Resident Evil, and it was quite interesting just doing that to Resident Evil, comparing the survival horror kind of games. But yeah, generally, I just think on this point, like, if you think the power thing makes a big difference, Fonz, like, people, and I think that the number is small. The thing that will be really hard, people primarily make their decision based on value. Game Pass, COD being on Game Pass is going to absolutely destroy that whole security blanket of COD associating with PlayStation, because marketing is all about building the association with that platform. Now COD is going to be synonymous with Xbox. That is huge. And Game Pass. Like, why would I be a mug and pay $70 for a game I can just play, even like for a subscribe for a month, like some of these casuals might, and then
of course 70 versus 15 a month. Yeah, that's what you're looking at there. And you've got all these other games as well to play. But my reason for really driving that point home about this, Jim crying about the gimped versions or the degraded versions, it's because he is speaking facts there. It is something that's going to happen because it is a byproduct of platform lead. It just is. And if Microsoft owns the IP, of course, their platform's going to be the lead platform for that game design. So as they start making these CODs around the Xbox, it's going to play best on Xbox. It should, in theory, right? It should. So he is so worried about that right now. And all I can say is go cry about it, Jim, because honestly, at the end of the day, this is what's been happening with the Xbox versions of games for a long time now.
Yeah.
A long time. Definitely. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, everybody has already, like I said earlier, when you have a multi-plat game that comes out on both consoles, and it was platform lead for the PlayStation 5, and they built it around their DualSense controller and everything, everybody dubs the PlayStation 5 version best. And the Xbox version, oh, well, look, it's got frame dips, it's got this and that. Even though a lot of these games do get patched and get fixed later, you don't hear about it. Once Digital Foundry already puts a video out that first day, that's it. That's what people go by. Digital Foundry said PlayStation 5 version's best. That's what I'm buying. So
yeah, that's what Jason Ronald was saying to me in DMs. He was saying, like, by the time the games comes out, not all devs will approach or will utilize the advice they give them, and by the time they've actually gone and fixed it, it's too late because the narrative has already been set from the day one Digital Foundry analysis. So he was saying that to me, but generally it's Jim Ryan's quote is disgustingly out of touch. It's so ridiculously
what do you think about the part
it's actually quite funny
where he says that our business would never recover if they had a degraded version of Call of Duty? One game. And I know it makes a lot of money, right?
Bro, he's not even talking about taking the game away from PlayStation. All he's talking about is getting a degraded version of COD, and says that it would seriously damage his rep. Okay, really? Our gamers would desert our platform in droves, and the network effect would exacerbate the problem. Our business would never recover. Like, bro, Game Pass. If you said Game Pass, and you tactically can't say that, because any investor looking at PlayStation right now and reads that comment and is like, hold on a minute, what's going on here? PlayStation is really bad. They wouldn't recover. And investors are looking at that. A lot of people like, investors would know Jim Ryan's being a bitch. Like, oh, really? Really? You can't push up statements like that. But there was a limit to that statement, because if he said the reality of what could actually cause the people a mass exodus to PlayStation as far as COD is concerned, it's Game Pass. That's the real threat. The degrading thing is bullshit. There's BS. I don't think there's in any way they're going to leave in droves because Xbox performs better. The cumulative effect of that over a sustained period of time, over successive CODs, over like 3-4 CODs, maybe perhaps then the Xbox is the home of COD. It's on Game Pass. Also, it's the better looking one. It works better.
It's going to be a culmination of a bunch of different things. It's going to be a culmination of Game Pass. It's going to be also the fact that it may run better the first day it drops. It's that nasty byproduct of not being lead platform. That's just what happens. And so it's going to be a lot of things that make people end up kind of migrating over. But I think Game Pass is the biggest thing, and that's probably the biggest fear that Jim has that he's not really stating. And that's because they can't do day and date right now, or they refuse to anyway. I think
one day they will.
I think that they can, especially given the fact. Now, I want you to understand this, chat. Now, lately, Jim's really kind of been shitting on his own first-party teams with the way he's been crying about Call of Duty destroying his company. I mean, if I was part of their, teams, I would be upset. Like if I was Naughty Dog or Insomniac, I would be like, wait, well, hold up. We're chopped liver? Like, why are you saying that the business would be destroyed without COD, without being able to market COD? Not even the fact that they're losing COD, because they're not. But because you can't market COD and you might have some bugs in COD day one that could get patched out, we can't recover from that? Wait a minute. What about us? That's what I would be like. And you're telling me that Naughty Dog, Insomniac, all these great studios that they got are chopped liver, Jim. That's what you're telling us.
Yeah. The optics of that aren't that great. I think the first party studios themselves will know that this is all posturing. A lot of it is Jim Ryan. The name tag is coming to fully realized now from the We Believe in Generations to this, which is really a bold-faced lie or massive, gross, exaggeration that has no basis in reality. But the fact that PlayStation Studios are being thrown under the bus, and some PlayStation fanboys cannot see that, and they're backing PlayStation and begging regulators and tagging the CMA, FTC, Lena Khan, like the Red Dragon and all these other clowns who are doing it, that you're following Jim Ryan's word verbatim, and the CMA verbatim, and now they've shut their mouths. They've shut their mouths. They got slapped so hard by the CMA. They were sucking off as hard as Jim Ryan was sucking off. These fanboys were doing it, and now they're hushed mum. Like the CMA is right. What happened? Like, if it was the other way around, I would never take the position that Sony fanboys have taken here. By the way, I would have been like, let them take it. Don't be a bitch,
guys. You and I, we know that Jim is right in that multiplats are king. All right, your exclusives and everything are great to have and do drive some people over to your consoles and stuff. But let's be honest, most people that bought a PlayStation 4 or even a PlayStation 5 aren't buying it because of God of War. They aren't buying it because of Horizon games. They're buying it because of the Fortnites with their friends or the CODs with their friends. Multiplats are still king. So I agree with that, aspect. That's why I think the whole day and date thing with their own IP, I don't think is that bad because they've already got millions of gamers signed up to their expensive premium service. If you add day and date on top of that, you'll get millions more joining because I would be there day one for sure. And I've heard a lot of my friends say the same thing.
I understand PlayStation position with a day and date thing. They're trying to squeeze out as much time, as much as they can, and hold on to this model, this traditional $70 non-day one model, non-service model, because for them it's a much harder task as taking away, eating into their profits substantially, whereas Microsoft can, withstand those initial losses. Apparently now it's profitable, but in early days, only Microsoft was able to do that. I understand Sony's strategy there. I'm not actually having a go at them or think it's bad that they don't do day and date, even though the value proposition of their services isn't that great, although PlayStation Plus is actually doing quite well in the last couple of months. But I understand PlayStation sides there. That business side of that, I completely understand. Buy your time, that's fine. If they are privy to their financials, Fonz, we can laugh at Jim Ryan crying all the time and looking like a bitch. For me, more than the business element of it, it's more the fanboys who I'm interested in, because these guys used to, this generation has killed so many PlayStation narratives, and this one, it's a gift to an expert like me. Well, it's a gift who loves to swim in the sauce. And then Jim Ryan, the head of PlayStation, says this. PlayStation fanboys make fun of multiplayer, make fun of COD for ages until the business marketing agreement, a first-person shooter, and now they cry, and then they cry about it, and they take the side of PlayStation when it's acting like a bitch with the government regulators. And now what? So that part I understand. They must be privy to some financials where it's really impacting them.
I'm sure it is. Look, it's going to sting a lot when the marketing deals and everything go away from PlayStation, because again, COD was synonymous with PlayStation, and they had all the better, it was more enticing over there. They had the extras and stuff they were given over there. They did it with Destiny for a while. Remember when they bought the marketing rights for Destiny, and they had there was like whole strikes and stuff that you couldn't do on Xbox, but you can do it on PlayStation, which was the reason why I played it on PlayStation, because they had all that extra stuff. And mind you, Microsoft themselves said that with COD, they wouldn't even do that. They're not going to have extras. They told PlayStation, look, we're not going to do anything extra with ours, but Jim is still crying because he's going to lose so much money on this deal. But that's okay. It's going to sting, but it's not going to destroy his business. He's really trying to oversell that right now. Microsoft, all these, what Microsoft is doing right now with buying all these franchises, basically, it's going past what they did with the 360 era. Because if you remember in the 360 era, they kind of did what PlayStation is doing now. That's what they were doing back then. They were heavy on the marketing rights, heavy on the marketing deals. We had the extra stuff. The games performed better on the 360 and stuff. They were the platform lead. That's what was going on back then with the 360. But now they're kind of just like buying the whole cow. They're not just milking it. They're buying the whole freaking cow right now. And they're just, and once you start getting all these studios and you have the platform lead with all these studios, whatever multi-plat game goes out to PlayStation, it's not going to be the better product for sure. It could be equal, or it could be a little inferior. Who knows? But it won't be better over there.
No. And it's just like one day when you go past this, I want PlayStation to start taking risks in the first person space, and Bungie will help them do that. But as of now,
Bungie will help.
Yeah, Bungie. Whoa, what happened to my camera?
You're like almost in black and white there. Hargeet Shiny with the $5 super chat says, Jim has made the proclamation. Ponies need to desert PlayStation in droves. Or call him Jim, or call Jim a liar. Which will it be? Which will it be? Will they call Jim a liar, or will they leave PlayStation in droves? Because he's made that proclamation now. So what's going to happen?
They neither. Well, they'll just back it and forget it. But he made this statement before. I'm going to try and fix my camera, Fonz, while you move on to the next topic.
Go ahead. Yeah, fix your camera. I don't know, chat. How do you feel about it? I mean, do you kind of agree with me and Gaz here, where it's like it's 100% hypocritical of Sony with the way they're acting with this situation? It's been going on with Xbox, and even the PC versions of these games have been coming out shitty because they're not platform lead. They've never been really over on PC, but it's kind of getting kind of worse because, again, they're building this. They built the Capcom game Resident Evil 4 around the DualSense controller, and even the DualSense worked best on PC as well. The Xbox controller had issues with the game. So it just happens. Oh, you're back. You look good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, most people seem to agree with us on this situation. I don't know. You got anything else to say about this? I kind of talked myself to death on this.
Well, it's going to be just because the CMA and the European Commission have made their position. That doesn't mean this deal is done. The bigger one is the FTC, and they're putting a bitter fight against it. This is still going to be a long, drawn-out process. I hope it'll be done by the summer of this year. But the FTC are just not even thinking with their heads, and there's just bloody politics, especially in the US. It's just such a mess, and it's all politics. It's just Lena Khan just sitting there, just trying to build a legacy on it, and they've said it. Like, we don't care if we lose. There's no skin off their back. And at the same time, Biden's giving them more money. Like, let's just give us more money for more funding. It's like, oh man, I get it. Consolidation is bad. Big tech needs to be controlled. And then of all the examples, you pick one where pretty much most of the industry is fine with it. Take-Two's fine with it. Nintendo's fine with it. Nvidia's fine with it. Steam is fine with it. All the big players are fine with it, apart from PlayStation.
Yep.
And well,
yeah. And by the way, we have a celebrity in the chat. We got Crying Jim Ryan in the chat. He says, "You don't have to answer this question, chat. Please don't. Please don't." Yeah, it's good to see you. Let's get a little bit less messy here. Let's talk about some games. Why don't we? I already see it in the chat. One of you keeps typing to me, telling me, Alex SS keeps telling me, please don't buy Jedi Survivor. Buy Dead Island 2 instead. It's better. First of all, they're both not out yet. And to me, Jedi Survivor is going to be the better game. I personally not a big fan of Dead Island. I love Jedi Fallen Order. This game coming out, Jedi Survivor, which we're going to talk about now, supposedly is a much better game than the first. So I'm excited about it. How about you?
Definitely. You look at the Fonz with the freaking transition. Sexual. That was cool.
Yeah, I had my logo and everything. It's cool.
I know. I've never seen that.
I built it, man, myself. I built it with my feet. Zocker showed me how.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing. Zocker showed you how.
Zocker is a toddler.
But that's brilliant. But look at this. Look at this sexy game. There's no way. I think Dead Island 2 might be a surprise hit, but this game, Jedi Survivor, might actually, I think, well, not even might, I'm very confident the first game actually Metacritic score was really bad because it had bugs. But look at this game, apart from that weird frog. This game, oh my God, your stream is so beautiful, Fonz. But this game is just going to be epic. I think it's going to be the game the first one should have been, and then some. So it's going to fix a lot of the traversal problems. It's obviously not going to have as many bugs because Respawn can't afford to have that problem again. They're going to look at the visual fidelity of this game.
Speaking about the traversal issue, you're going to be able to ride mounts in this game, vehicles and creatures in this game.
It's going to be epic. It's going to be one of the best Star Wars games we can get.
So
and I'm really loving it. And
it's going to be a little less linear than the first game. You're going to have more open, kind of a hub world-ish type of thing, kind of like Destiny was, I guess. You're going to have this game takes place 5 years after Fallen Order. You're not with the crew that you were with before, but you end up meeting up or something in the game, of course, because I see some of that happening with some of the footage. This video right here just came out this morning. This is the newest gameplay trailer. So I had to get it this morning. I saw that. I was like, okay, I'm going to put that on my show. There's all kinds of stuff you can do in this game now. There's more NPC interactions, apparently. There's side quests now, which there weren't in the first, which kind of blew my mind because I didn't think about that. But there was no side quests. I didn't.
Interesting. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember there not being any side quests, but there wasn't. And again, I said mountable creatures. You'll be able to ride different creatures across land and air, by the way. You'll be able to fly. So that's why it's not on the PlayStation 4. You can fly. Shout out to...
I reckon this could be a 90 plus meta. This
could be. You get to fight a Rancor finally.
Yeah, man. I'm not even a massive Star Wars fan, but this game looks amazing. Like just everything. Look at that. Yeah. Oh man.
You know what you get to do here too that you didn't in the first? There's fast travel points. Fast travel.
Oh, that's good. That's pretty good.
My biggest upgrade is they fixed that damn map. That map was horrible.
That was so annoying because it's like Metroidvania. You had to go back and like literally retread steps, but that map was a pain. It was a pain. I remember that ice level. It was such a pain going back and down. Some of the slides, there's one way, like going down. You slide down to a point, and it's just like, oh, and I have to go the long way back. They're going to fix all of that. Oh, look at this combat with the two of them fighting.
There's a lot of cosmetic changes as well. Like there's customize. You can customize your hair. You can have a beard. You can look cool or not cool. You could look like Theo Von here. That's kind of what he looks like right there. I don't know. He kind of looks like Theo Von. Look, he's got the freaking mullet, man.
Can I make him not ginger? Not that I have anything against ginger, but I want to have a black beard, cool.
It's.
Can I do that?
Yeah, but no, you have to be a ginger, unfortunately, or fortunately. I don't care.
No, nothing against gingers.
Nothing against gingers. I'm cool with that. They got no soul, but hey, that's not my. I didn't say that. Yeah, that's what I said, Scottsy. He looks like Theo Von right there. Kind of does. I saw that and I was like, man, he looks like he has the heart of a lesbian. But anyways, if you know Theo Von, you get it. You get it. So it just, the game looks incredible to me. It looks really good. Looks really fun. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. What are you saying, man? I don't know who Theo Von is, so you
don't know Theo Von, the comedian? Oh man, God,
I don't know. He said he has a heart of a lesbian. I was like,
the stuff he says, man, it's hilarious, and that's one of the things he says. He says he has the heart of a lesbian. So good for him. Okay. Yeah, so Palpatine. Water, so. I like that name, Palpatine, in the chat says, well, now I'm going to go see Theo Von. Yeah, go see Theo Von. He's funny. But yeah, it looks like a great game, guys. I'm excited. Chat, are you excited for that game? I know, what's his name? Alex isn't. Alex is excited for Dead Island 2. Alex, I would like to know, what is it about?
Von. I know this guy.
Yeah.
He's making a circuit massive now. He's huge now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so funny, this guy.
Yeah, now look at your screen. Kind of like that, right?
Yeah, he does. He does like a ginger version of that. Yeah. He does. Yeah. He's so funny, right, man. He's so weird. He says some hilarious things.
He does. Off the wall shit, but he's a funny dude. But yeah, we're getting it. What does Alex says? Ranting Greek gamer, tell that to Fonz. Tell what to Fonz? What did he say? What did ranting?
I have a review code of Dead Island 2. The game has been awesome so far.
Nice. No, that's NDA.
NDA's broken.
Yeah, you broke NDA, but here it is. I'm fine with that. I'm fine that you're breaking it on my show. Okay, I won't repeat your name again, but thanks for breaking that and telling me it's a good game. Look, I'm not against Dead Island 2. If it's a great game and my friends want to play it with me and stuff, I'll pick it up. But I'm just really looking forward to Jedi Survivor. That's the next big one that I'm looking to get into. After this Dead Space, I'm going to jump into that. Have fun.
When is this out? This is out at the end of this month, right? Like 24th April?
28th. That's 28th before you know it, it's going to be here.
But I need to complete Resident Evil 4 before that, because that's another backlog. That's going to be epic, though. Oh, they got bloody freaking Sekiro. I'm going to be playing that for a while.
Yeah. So how's so what's next on the agenda for the sauce videos for you?
So because it's Ramadan, it's going to sound stupid to you, but because it's Ramadan,
no, it's not
and my source content is very incendiary. Even the last source video, I released it on the day of Ramadan, which I felt a bit like I didn't want to do that because, these people talk shit about me, and I wasn't going to hold back. But I did that because that video was in the works for a while. I'm not going to do a source video until after a couple of weeks. There's so much news here. There's Jim Ryan stuff. I could have really killed it. But I'll wait until, I'll have to wait until so Ramadan. I have to be good. So I'll try for 2 weeks. I want to chill. But whilst I'm doing that, I'm streaming on Septic Sauce, which I have some really ambitious plans to do that because I loved streaming. Like, I didn't realize it was so much fun. I'm humbled that 5 people would watch me.
What made you move
20.
what made you decide to make a whole nother channel to stream your games?
It's with Septic Sauce. It's not just gaming. It's going to be other stuff, life stuff, music stuff. I'm looking to make music. I'm going to talk to my friends about, some politics stuff as well, like some more real life stuff, some comedy, some about
Gaz is a vlogger now. Follow him on Septic
I am like
Sauce.
that.
I didn't know that.
All of that.
I just heard about that channel today, Septic Sauce. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Freaking Colt told me it's a secret channel, and I was like, "What secret channel?" It wasn't secret.
It wasn't secret. It was my Gaz, the usual username. I just changed it to Septic Sauce. I'm gonna brand it up. I'm really excited because I loved streaming. I didn't realize why everyone did it. Now I understand. It's so much fun interacting with people as you play a game. I'm actually genuinely a psychopath. So when I'm playing games, I'm screaming and shouting. That's me without the camera turned off. Anyway, I'm a psychopath. Like, it's just a high energy piece of shit. So yeah.
We have royalty in the house. Colt Eastwood. Hey, welcome, Colt. I see you. He said he hates Easter eggs so much. Really?
I bet he ate loads of them, though. You stuffed your face with chocolate, you piece of.
Oh man, I haven't ate sugar in months, and so I've not had candy. And I'm a candy holic. I used to be. I used to eat candy all the time. That's why I was a diabetic. I was a type 2 diabetic. I still am, I guess, technically, but I don't have a problem with my sugars anymore because I don't eat sugar and I barely eat any carbs at all. Yeah. So
that's respect. I completely forgot you had that.
Yeah. It works, people. When you get rid of sugar and you dial back a lot on the carbs, you get healthy. You get very healthy.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It does work. Choose one. Yep, remember that.
Well, that's a sick tune. I didn't know I had that saved still. Let me play that again. Choose one. I'm going to get you demonetized.
Yeah. Well, demonetized people. Colt Eastwood said no, they were hard-boiled dyed eggs. Yeah, I could tell. I hated those too. You know what I hated? The process of dyeing those things. I'd get color and like all that stuff all over my fingers and go to work the next day and they're like, "What'd you do? Get nail polish on your fingers?" And no.
We don't celebrate Easter that massively here in the UK. It's never been like that.
Never?
Most people get massive. People here just
celebrate beans and toast,
egg.
huh?
No, we get the eggs, like the chocolate eggs, Lindor, but not the whole America.
Not the Cadbury?
You Americans are crazy. Halloween, you guys go to town. You guys go to town on Halloween, which I'm really jealous of.
I think we Americans go to town just about on every holiday. It's an excuse to eat like a pig. It's an excuse to just go all out.
Not that you need excuses in America, but
yeah, it's just. I do.
But I can understand why, because oh my god, every time I'm in the States, your food, the sugar level is disgusting, but oh my god, it destroys English food.
It tastes good though, right?
Bro,
yeah.
Bro.
All I've ever heard is and I've never eaten English food, but all I've ever heard is that it's bland.
Dry as hell.
It's bland.
It's bland as hell. American food is so dank.
But
it's
I
like
found
crack.
out this. This is what I found out, and this is pretty interesting. God, this has nothing to do with gaming. What are we doing? But anyways, real quick, I'll just say, when it comes to the food thing, I heard that the reason why a lot of the foods that we eat, let's say, taste better, is because a lot of the stuff that's in our food, you guys have banned over there in the UK because it's toxic.
Really?
It's not good for you. Yes, your regulators over there do not like some of the stuff that we put in our foods. So you don't even have some of our foods that we have over here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I will say, though, is disgusting levels of sugar. You get like a large drink. Bro, the cup is the size of like a whole baby, bro. It's like that big. I'm like, what the hell is that? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no wonder these guys are all fat, because they have the fat, huge cups. And
stop talking about Colt Eastwood that way, okay? He loves his Mountain Dew. He loves it.
Yeah, it does. But the food tastes amazing.
It does.
Like,
it's good.
Like, what do you want to do? You want to live a short but sexy life? Not sexy if you're fat, but like incredibly. By the way, I know we've gone off topic, but have you watched the movie The Witch? Do you want to live deliciously? Oh my God!
No, I've never seen it
in America.
But
my baby.
I do know from Kung Fu Hot Dog earlier, he said that the Mario movie, and I've heard it from other people, is really good. So, folks, if you haven't watched the Mario movie, I guess it's something to go watch. It's good for the family, and it's good for yourself, I guess, as a gamer. I don't know.
He's bringing it back to gaming. You see that, chat? Yeah. I just want to talk about real life stuff.
Because, right? Because we're not Xbox 2 here. We can't get away with that.
Oh, shit!
We can't talk about stuff that's outside gaming.
Are you going to take that? Are you going to take that? He just said you guys talk crap on your show rant. Clip that. Share it with him. No, I like that. Fonz, people like a little bit of...
Yeah, I know they like... sometimes they like that. But, especially when you got nothing else to talk about gaming related, because that's all the topics that I personally had for the day.
There's loads of topics.
Next, you want to talk about something real quick? We can talk about something real quick. What do you got?
Konami is returning to gaming.
Oh,
it's
Pachinko machines, right?
The Pachinko machine company actually said, hey, we're now renewing our focus. They opened a massive studio in Osaka in Japan. And now they're bringing back. And I'm like, hold on a minute. You guys basically stuck the middle finger at us gamers. And now you want to come back to gaming because maybe your Pachinko machines aren't doing that well.
Yeah, they're not doing it.
Come on. But gamers are fickle, bro. Do you think they'll forgive them very quickly? Of course they will. They just want to see Metal Gear, even though Kojima is not there.
Silent Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Silent Hill, which everyone's like lapping up. And again, BG, shout out to him. He was spot on. He says there's a lot of people capping for Silent Hill who didn't really care for Silent Hill at the time. It barely made that much of a wave when it was released at max. He was saying something like 2 million. But Castlevania,
I actually did buy Silent Hill 1 and 2. I bought and played those. I beat those.
I played those as well. But just like the noise, the level of noise generated, I don't know. Konami coming back, they need to come back, grovel with their they need to crawl through glass and fire and some brimstone, and then say sorry and apologize for forsaking us, and then we'll accept their goodness. We won't do that. We'll just.
But I'm not a massive fan of Konami or Silent Hill even. Like I enjoyed the games back then. But I'm not salivating over a new Silent Hill. I'm just not.
I'm not salivating either. Metal Gear Solid without Kojima might not be that great. Revengeance was cool, I guess. But then there's, slightly different was Platinum. Castlevania, yeah, okay, fine. I love the anime. I've never been actually played the old Castlevania games that much. But I don't know, man. Like, they were amazing, but they fell off. Yeah. And now they're trying to come back, and I'm side-eyeing them. Whereas Capcom, they fell off, and they worked their way up with banger after banger. The remakes, fair enough, but you don't just produce good remakes without having an understanding of what made them great and understanding the spirit of gaming and bringing it back to modern day. Capcom then also have like new IPs coming in and they're just killing it. Whereas Konami is down in my esteem.
Yeah.
But let's see the results that they're talking.
I want to see companies take more risks. And when I say this, I want to see AAA companies take more risks because we see AA games taking more risks than we do of AAAs. But
very rare.
I want to see some newer type of games. Like
you're not going to see that.
I
guarantee you.
Everything seems to be kind of, the same.
Yeah, but bro, that's why I like Starfield so much. Even though it's the same, the scope of that game is still large. But in the AAA space, there's nothing. There's nothing, and there won't be.
Because that's the way I first thought of No Man's Sky. Because I like the whole, thought process of, we can fly to different planets and explore the planets. But when I tried No Man's Sky, there was no real narrative. I don't know if there is one now, but it just didn't seem to have a real strong narrative. And when I got to the planets, I had to micromanage every little thing, and it was just not great for me. And so knowing Bethesda's pedigree, knowing the type of games they make, implementing that into a No Man's Sky type of game, that will check all the boxes for me.
Yeah, that's a game. That's a AAA game that's doing what an indie couldn't really do. But No Man's Sky has had its glow up, and now is a great game. That is an outlier, and you're going to see very few few devs in the AAA space. I've kind of now resigned to the fact that AAA space is going to be bereft of any originality. It's the AA space and indie space I'm more interested in for pushing that thing forward. But there is one area that will change the gaming landscape forever, Fonz, and it's actually relevant for someone like you, who's a voice actor in the space. And that's AI. It's coming.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And the transformative change to gaming is going to be epic.
AI is, it's scaring a lot of people out there in the business.
And well, I'll say this: I talk regularly to artists who have an existential crisis on it, and they have every reason to have that crisis. Just adapt, or die, because you will be left behind. I use ChatGPT almost daily now. It's almost like Google. It's ridiculous. And I'm telling you now, bro, the technology is disgustingly scary. If you use it now, it is insane. It has not missed a beat, irrespective of errors. And conversationally, it's killing it. It's literally, we are there, and I can't believe we are there. So now in a game, you're playing a game like Starfield. Normally, you upgrade your persuasion skills by adding your XP points to +1 persuasion or intimidation. Now you talk to your games. Now you, as a voice actor, you can actually record dialogue lines, a few lines, and the AI will replicate them. That's how voice actors will work. That's how music producers will work. Like Kanye's voice, you can replicate it now. Yep. I've got the technology now to do it. But what does that mean for gaming? You have actual fluid conversation with an NPC. It's like, yo, let me into that cave. They're like, no, why should I let you in? Because I just kidnapped your mum. He's like, that's not true. My mum is in Alpha Centauri 5. And we're like, wait, I destroyed Alpha Centauri 5. Have you not seen the news? I'm like, what are you talking about? You're stupid. That kind of conversation is going to happen. It's here now. The technology is right here. It's going to get implemented. You're going to see it. And I think Kojima's game is something along those lines for Xbox.
Oh, that'll be interesting to see because, again, he's been very vocal on the fact that this is a technology that wasn't available years ago for him to make this game. So it could be something AI oriented here. I could definitely see that.
I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised.
But, one thing I really find, okay, so we've had a lot of news about, Jim and, the ABK thing, because that's really been consuming a lot of the news lately. But what I wanted to ask you, though, is do you feel like we're getting closer to the time of year where usually E3 would have been here? It's canceled. We know that. But where is all the gaming news right now? Like, I usually you get a bunch of nuggets in April and, even March, you start to hear things. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not seeing like the games, the news on the games themselves. And do you think this might be attributed to the fact that, because we know they're coming, maybe people are able to keep things quiet more often now? Or do you think it's just, there's something else going on? I don't know. Because I'm waiting for the news.
That's a very good question. And you're right there. I didn't actually clock onto that point. We're the 10th of April, and normally we get some kind of insight. Obviously, E3 is dead, so that kind of puts the winds in the sails. But the reason for that is game companies are now, platform holders are taking control of the narrative. Before they had to commit to this big event that they could not afford to miss. And then these fixed timelines, and tactically, it made a lot of problems for, depending on the platform holder, who went first. So typically Xbox would go first, and when it comes to like announcing price or something, it was a problem because PlayStation would go second. They could always like react to any announcements, or they would have like a bank of things like, should we release this, or depending on what the other sides do. All that thing has changed. So now we've got directs and everything. We know Xbox's show is coming in the summer. Some people are saying because of the FTC thing, that's why PlayStation is not showing anything and hasn't showed anything for a very long time. If Xbox gamers have reason are being impatient, you need to check out what the PlayStation side are feeling like. They are pissed. They haven't had a show in ages. They have Spider-Man coming out apparently in September, and then they have not seen any gameplay of that game. They have not seen anything of the future timeline. Like, where's this big event? Is it because of the FTC? I don't think it is. But if it is what you said it might be, which is them just finally plugged the leaks and that they're holding it down to have this grand reveal, I love it. I'm absolutely finally, because that a spectacle of those shows is like a whole event to me. It's like Christmas to me. So I hope that kind of like that is the case. And in this summer, the Fonz, I swear to God, people are going to hate me so much if Microsoft flops it. I'm still going to maintain that they need to go big or go home.
And I'm going to continue to maintain that Sony is going to have a huge show. They are going to show out this year, guys. They're going to show a lot of great games, a lot of cool things that people are going to be looking forward to, for sure. I can definitely see that happening. And I'm telling you, we're going to see more on Wolverine, I'm sure. We're going to see something on Wolverine, and it's going to get people so excited. We're going to see Factions as well. We're finally going to see Factions. And possibly even get a date during that show for Factions. I can see that happening as well. Dude.
Check out Randall Thor in the chat. The celebrity.
Yeah, shout out to Randall Thor. And of course, who is Randall Thor?
The man with the million.
That's right. The man with the million. It's good to see you. He said, name a better duo than Fonz and Gaz. And I said, Brand and Jez. Brand and Jez, of course.
They're the big boys.
They're the big boys with the big boy pants. Yep.
They're the number one.
We got the small pants
now.
over here. We got the tiny pants on over here, you know.
We got big balls though.
I don't even wear pants during the show. I don't.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm naked again. Whoa!
Whoa, what happened to that?
You know those and I just had it on red. Okay, let's stop now. But yeah, look.
Boba Fett said dealer in 2K gaming. So yeah, 2K. Dealer in 2K. NBA 2K. That's the better duo.
I'm such a slow. I'm like, what's 2K? Oh,
shout out to Dealer, 2K. Man.
Shout out to him, man. Where's he been? He's disappeared, man, and he's stuck on that game.
He's on 2K like pretty much every day, or he was. I don't know if he is anymore.
I miss talking to him, man. He's disappeared on
Alex in the chat.
Oh my God!
Why are you pushing against Jedi Survivor? Why do you hate it so much? Why?
Shut the up, Alex.
Shut the up. Damn it.
Please.
Why do you care if he doesn't want to play Dead Island? No, it's not that. It's not even that. It's the fact that he doesn't want me to buy Survivor. And I want to know why, Alex. Do you hate Survive? Did you hate
He
Jedi
works
Fallen
for
Order?
Dead Island too. He works for them or something.
Fallen Order was so good. So good.
Survivor's better. Alex, Survivor will absolutely on Dead Island 2, and when it does, I'll remember you, because you always leave weird comments on my YouTube channel. So when it comes, and I will see the Metacritic score, I see this fist, look at your ass, and
damn.
There you go.
Colt Eastwood said, Dead Island 2 better, Fonz.
You, Colt.
No.
You, Colt.
I'm not a big fan of co-op. Everybody knows that. If you know me in this space anyway, you know I always talk about how I'm more of a single-player gamer. Even when I played Destiny, I raided with people. I had, I raided with my crew and everything, but I loved playing by myself in Destiny.
What? Destiny was amazing with the Vault of Glass and Crota.
No, I'm just saying, like when I did my dailies and stuff, I just like to chill by myself, get everything done, and then go off and do things with some friends every now and then. But I'm just not a big co-op gamer first.
Yeah,
Ashtray knows. I never
co-op.
game
Actually,
it.
Ashtray Gaming looks really good.
I never game with him. Ever. That's not true, Ashtray. I played Fortnite with you, like once.
Fortnite's a good game. And yeah, I'm stopped playing multiplayer, but co-op is really good. And Colt, I am looking at Dead Island 2. It looks fun. It looks way better than the first one, that's for sure. The first one let everyone down. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Dead Island 2. But Jedi Survivor, that looks like a banger, man. And I can't wait for that. 28th of April, I'm there.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to end the show, guys. We've talked enough here. And I want to just thank my good guest here, my great guest, my awesome friend here, Gaz of Game On Daily. Let everybody know where they can find you and what's going on with your website and stuff. Let them know.
Oh, yeah. So check out gameondaily.com. The website is nice. You got to use it, you piece of... And also the YouTube channel. Also, I'm called Septic Source now. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing my own streaming stuff. So when I've typed loller skates in chat for some reason, that's my channel. Go subscribe it because I'll be gaming, streaming, and we can all have fun and be crazy together and touch. Yeah,
I won't be there for that.
You will.
Oh, geez. All right. Okay. All right. That's kind of weird. Is that all, sir? Where can they find you on Twitter?
Gaz on Daily as well. Nathan, I might play Sekiro after this, but it is like 1 a.m. and I'll be screaming and all my neighbors are going to wake up. But yeah, check out Gaz on Daily on Twitter, Game On Daily, one word, the YouTube channel where you find the source, where all the beautiful goodness is, and Septic Source, where you'll see me go crazy and probably get cancelled because that's the world we live in. Thank you so much. I love you all. Bye.
Mr. James, that's not true. I don't hate indie games. I like a lot of indie games. One of my favorite games last year was an indie game, As Dusk Falls. Loved it. Played it twice. Great game.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, until next week or whenever I decide to come back to this this piece of shit show, I'll be back. No, it's not a piece of shit show.
Love the show. Smash the like button.
It's decent. It's okay. But there was over 200 people in here. But anyways, if you like the show, hit the like button. If you don't, I get it. I understand. I had one dislike today. I'm sorry didn't live up to your standards, whoever you were. Maybe next week. But yeah, until next week, guys, game on.
Peace.